heck is going on with Snapchat? Why has this company gone through the roof here recently? That's what we're talking about today, guys. So please stick around, see if you guys should invest in this company or should invest in this company. Let's take a look at their Q3, some of their user base growth, some of the revenue growth, some of the places they are in the world and how that's growing, and a few more things. My name is Chris. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers this month, so hit that spicy like button, hit the subscribe button, and let's get started. Alright guys, so why Snapchat? So look at this here. It says 249 million daily active users. That's insane growth from a year ago. I think they were only at like 170 million active users, but we'll get into that a little later. It says they have over 30 minutes of time spent on the platform every single day for these daily active users. They have over 4 billion snaps created every single day. Over 180 million people engage with the augmented reality every single day. 75% of their platform are users from the age of 13 to 34 in the US. And also, finally but not least, they have over $1 trillion in direct spending power of Gen Z and millennials. I want you guys to take a look at this Q3 2020 results. These are in, baby, and these are impressive. It says daily active users increased to 249 million in Q3 compared to 210 million in Q3 of 2019. Average revenue per user increased to $2.73 in Q3 2020 compared to $2.12 in Q3 2019. Cash used in operating activities was 54.8 million in Q3 compared to the 76.1 million in Q3 of 2019. That means they're having to do less but getting more users on the platform, and they're also spending more money on the platform. Free cash flow was 69.6 million in Q3 2020 compared to the 84.1 million in Q3 2019. So obviously they have less cash flow this year than they did last year. Revenues increased 52% to 678.7 million in Q3 2020 compared to the 446.2 million in Q3 2019, guys. 52% in 1 year. This company is growing like crazy. I don't know if it's the Rona that made this company take off or if it's something else, but users are loving this platform this year, that's for sure. So the total cost overall, not just the cost or the cash that in the operating activities, but the total costs and expenses overall increased 26% to 644.1 million in Q3 2020 compared to 509.2 million in Q3 2019. Net loss decreased 12% to 199.9 million in Q3 compared to 227.4 million in Q3 2019. So this is a very important page to look at. If you guys want to take a screenshot of this, this is pretty much their overview of their Q3 2020 results. So take a look at this quarterly average daily active users. And this is in the millions. So since like about Q3, Q4 2018, this company has been gaining active users daily way off the charts. I mean, they are growing like crazy. Every quarter, they're getting about 10 to 20 million more people coming on this platform. I don't know if this is because of the redesign. I personally love the redesign. Tell me in the comments if you guys like the redesign. I know back in 2018 that they had this crappy redesign that a lot of users left the platform, and now they might be coming back here. But as you can see here in Q2 2019, there was an 8% increase. Q3, there was a 13% increase. Q4, there was a 17% increase. Q1 in 2020, there was a 20% increase in active users. And Q2 2020, there was 17. Q3, 18. So this looks like it's growing around that 10 to 20% mark every single quarter. That's super impressive, and that's really good growth for this company. And I'm sure they're excited about it, and I'm excited about it. And that's another reason the stock has just shot out the freaking roof, guys. As you can see here, they have now 249 million active users every single day. Facebook has about 10 times that amount, but that gives this company so much room to grow, and that's really exciting because a lot of people I know that are younger are using Snapchat. Like, I have a younger brother, he doesn't even get on Facebook anymore. He just spends all of his time on Snapchat and Instagram. And I know Instagram's owned by Facebook, but Snapchat isn't. So that tells me that the youth is picking the next platform for their social medias, and Snapchat's obviously going to be part of that group. I know this chart can be a pain to read. I don't know why they put it on their website like this, but you can read it and you can get the gist of what's going on here. So in North America, their user base actually didn't grow last quarter. All of their growth is coming from the rest of the world, over in India, over in Asia, somewhat other countries besides North America and Europe. See, in Europe they grew just a little bit, and over in the other rest of the world, they're growing enormously. And this is really exciting because this means that this platform is opening up to the rest of the world, and a lot of younger and maybe older people, like in their 30s, 35s, are joining this platform. And that's super exciting because for so long, the US and Europe has been the main drivers of this company and in their revenues and in their user base growth. So to see this is really exciting, especially that Q3 2020 number. Wow, guys, that jumped over 10 million people in one quarter. So if this is reaching more and more people over in the other parts of the world, I see this number growing exponentially over the next year or two. So here's quarterly average revenue per user for the whole world right here. And this is super exciting to look at. But usually in Q3 of 2018 and 2019, if you look at this chart, their number is way lower than their Q4. And yes, it comes back down, but that Q4 is usually where they get the majority of their spending. And we're not into Q4 yet. We're only into Q3. It's going to be Q3 quarterly average revenue per user out the water. And we're talking about a number we have never seen before in Snapchat. In the 320 maybe. This is going to be a crazy year for Snapchat. And this is another reason why Snapchat is going through the roof, guys. Now, to be completely fair about this, we have to break it down and see where that spending's really coming. So obviously their spending's coming from North America, and that would be us in the US. I'm in the US. And in Europe, Europe's also growing, and it's at a higher number than it's been in the last 2 years. And the rest of the world, not so much, but I can understand with the global thing going on right now that the rest of the world might not be as in a great of position as we are in today. So with all this exciting news, you guys also have to know the risk factors, and that's why I pulled this up. Okay, so to know the risk behind this stock whenever you're investing is one of the most important things. Just because the users are growing like crazy this quarter and the revenues are growing like crazy this quarter doesn't mean that it's going to continue. And they say that right here. It says daily active user growth rate has declined in the past and may decline in the future. So keep that in mind. They face a competition for users and their time. They're obviously competing against Facebook, which owns Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp and a lot of these other apps. They're also saying in the future that a lot of their growth needs to come from the older generation. So they're going to have to start appealing to the older generation. And that's going to be tough for Snapchat. Also, with this company, Snapchat, growing so many users in other countries, they're going to need the bandwidth. So that's another problem with Snapchat is it takes really good internet to connect to this app. So keep that in mind. And a lot of those countries may not have the greatest of internet, and that could really turn them off really fast. Take a screenshot of this right here and read over it, because these are all of the risks that Snapchat's really going to have in the coming future. And this is what's going to either make them or break them. Let's take a look at Snapchat's stock chart, guys. Now, on a day that the Dow Jones is down almost 700, 800 points at this moment as I'm recording, Snapchat has actually squeaked out a little bit of an upside today, and that's really impressive. I mean, they've come up since the early hours almost 3.6% on the day. So keep that in mind, like they're growing through the Dow Jones going down. And in the last 6 months, this company has grown 153%, guys. If you would have put $10,000 in this stock, you would have over $25,000 in that stock today. Here's whenever they released their Q3 earnings. So obviously the stock jumped on all the great news. It's up 45% from the earnings. So keep that in mind. If you're trying to invest in this company, there's a lot of hype around this company at the moment. And you might want to just like step back, take your time, look at what's really going on, look at the risks, and reevaluate this stock because it has a $61.33 billion market cap today, and that's super high in my opinion. I want you guys to take a look at how many countries Snapchat is in. This is crazy right here. They have so much potential. A lot of these countries aren't even at 10 million yet, and that's nothing compared to some of these countries' populations. So keep that in mind that we have in America over 101 million people on Snapchat, and in India 33.8 million. In India alone, there's like 2 billion people. So being the underdog, they have room to grow, and that's for sure. They just have to execute. And finally, guys, I want to take a look at their balance sheet. And if you guys made it to this point, props to you because this is one of the most important things to look at, even though people hate looking at it. And I'm going to put it at the end because usually people just exit off the video. They don't want to actually see it. They have current assets of $2.6 billion, but current liabilities of under $500 million. So that's pretty good. They could pay their current liabilities off a few times over again, and that's exactly what I like to see on a balance sheet. The current liabilities is just what's due in the next 12 months, and that's what I'm really concerned about. And finally, one more time, guys, let's take a look at their income statement because I think this is very important for people to look at. In 2016, they lost $500 million. In 2017, they lost $3.4 billion. In 2018, they lost $1.2 billion. In 2019, they lost $1 billion again. So we really need to see this number decreasing, but it looks like the trailing 12 months of this company is actually going to be higher than last year's number, and that's kind of disappointing because I really want to see this company make some money, and that's really going to help this company grow. And that's a reason that I just have to stay away from Snapchat is they're not profitable. Yeah, they have a lot of users coming to their base, but their executive team and their CEO I just don't agree with the way they spend money, and with them losing money every single year, even though their user base and their revenues are growing, just really disappoints me, and that's why I have to stay away from this company. Well, there you have it, guys. I wouldn't buy Snapchat at the prices it's at right now. Even though this company is growing like crazy, they have revenue growth growing for them, they have their daily active users in the other parts of the world growing like crazy. I just have to stay away from this company because it's just way too overvalued for me. It's way too speculative for me. They've skyrocketed in the last couple years, and honestly, I just can't take the risk with this one, guys. So you guys let me know. Are you invested in Snapchat? Are you guys going to add to your positions? Are you going to start a position in Snapchat? I'd love to know down in those comments below. But for today, that's all, guys. So please, we're trying to get to 100 subscribers. Hit that spicy like button. Hit the subscribe button. My name is Chris. That's all for today. Peace out.